which is truly world class. Kudos to the ISU team to have achieved such an orbit. The XpoSAT, as was highlighted, it's small in size, but great in its capabilities to look at the start of the universe. And the POEM-3, which is a very inexpensive microgravity platform, I think it is one of the unique platforms in the world. I think no other space agency provides such a platform. And this is a platform that ISRO is giving to the NGEs and academic institutions in the country to test their ideas and technologies. And we are very happy to see that the academia as well as the industries are using this platform to test their technologies, which will be going into their future missions. So congratulations to all of you, the academy, industry, and the new project team headed by new project director, Sri Jayakumar, and the entire ISRO team to have achieved such an excellent launch. Thank you all. Happy New Year. Let us have a great 2024.
Thanks to all the directors of the centers who have contributed for this mission in various ways, building the rocket, building the satellite, and also providing the ground infrastructure for us to operate and make this mission possible. So congratulations to all of you for your excellent contributions and all the team members of ISRO and also the partnering academia and institutions for making this mission possible. Now, all of you know that the mission was at a 650 kilometer, 6-degree inclination, and we could have done the POEM experiment in the same orbit. But as a responsible space agency, we decided to bring the fourth stage to a lower orbit so that its life of the stage in the orbit is much lesser, so that we don't create debris in that process. So that's why it has been brought down to 350 kilometers. And in that orbit, we will be carrying out the experiment with the payloads, as already been mentioned. We have an interesting fuel cell experiment, which is going to be one of the precursors to our future powering of space station and other areas when we have to have power generation on board. And the VSAT is the women engineered satellite, which is going to be an excellent contribution from all the girl students who have built this spacecraft. And we also have the experiments sponsored by various non-governmental entities, space startups in India, powered through the in-space coordination process. So congratulations to InSpace for enabling all these payloads on board the PSLV. And we are going to have not only that, that this POEM is going to be unique in that aspect that all these payloads are there, but we are also having a unique way of dumping the remaining fuel and propellant and gas in this stage with a different approach, which is again not going to be done for the very first time. And the entire platform of POEM is going to be stabilized using cold gas thrusters, which has worked in the last time very well. So we are looking for the orbital change, which will happen by the two firing of the engines and also bringing to 350 kilometer circular orbit. And after that, the POEM experiment will start. And our expectation is the whole process of this testing will be over in very short time, and we'll be able to declare this POEM payload successfully, maybe a course of 1 month or so. So possibly all of you know that the POEM payload has its own power generation capability with solar cells, batteries, and its own computers and commanding systems. So it's almost a full-fledged spacecraft supporting all of you to conduct experiments at very low cost. So it's once again an invitation to all the startups, budding entrepreneurs, students across the country to come and host your payloads on board PSLV 4 stage for experimenting and trying out your new ideas. So with this, let me close today's mission activities from the control center of Satish Dhawan Space Center. And we'll be back with announcements through our social media platforms for what happened in the POEM and what type of results are come out. Wait for that. And this year just began, and we are going to have many launches. And 2024 is going to be the year of Gaganyaan. As you already know, the TVD1 mission has just been over last year, and this year we are expecting two more such test flights of the test vehicle, followed by the unmanned missions of the Gaganyaan program, and many more tests and the experiments, which will be in number, very large numbers, which will not be coordinated from this control center. Similarly, we are going to have missions of PSLV, GSLV, as well as SSLV in the coming year, this year as well. So very hectic schedule waiting for all of you. And once again, let me wish a very, very happy new year 2024 for the entire family of ISRO, our partnering institutions, industries, and all our well-wishers. Thank you so much. Goodbye.
Knox is also a pioneer in the marine industry, especially for LNG infrastructure. And we have supplied a lot of cryolines to the ITER project, which is one of the unique in India, and very few manufacturers for India were qualified for this. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. So that was Inox. And now from Thales, India. Mr. Anurag Garg from Thales, India is going to be making his presentation now, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you much, and it's a pleasure to be here. So as Vincenzo, my colleague, has spoken about Thales Alenia Space, I'll take this moment to brief you about Thales Group. We are a 18 billion euro global company focusing on aerospace and defense, civil aviation, and digital identity and security. We have been present in India for the last 70 years. We are part of the Rafale team, supplying the key electronic components that go into the fighter jet. And we are about 2,000 people working in India, 1,400 engineers, 2 JVs, and 70 plus suppliers. So as a start, I would say that as Thales Group and as Thales Alenia Space, we are very much part of the Indian fabric and really committed to the commitment of Make in India. Just a quick synopsis: Thales Alenia Space, which is the space division, a joint venture with Leonardo. It's a 2.2 billion euro company, about 8,500 employees and 18 sites. And what I want to really focus on is really the coverage that we have across domains of telecom, observation, navigation, and exploration, and working with various agencies, be it commercial customers, be it defense, or various space agencies across the world. Like, as you know, except launch, we are into all spaces. We already spoken about that, but I just want to go through the various elements. And when we are looking at securing and defending, whether it's a context of looking at our security at the borders, looking at high revisit, Earth observation, which is very critical to have real-time situational awareness. We're into that. Maritime surveillance is key because of India's interest in the Indian Ocean region, where you require high swath, good resolution images. So that's an area that we can come into. Notwithstanding the MIL-SATCOM area, which will become more and more complex and important as we go forward with the necessary cybersecurity. So that's really the defense part. Space to connect, where the whole telecom element comes in, where you need more and more high throughput, flexible, software-defined satellites to really manage the transition between DTH and broadband, and really flexible approach. So we are into that. Observe and protect, looking at the climate change and really the diversity of the country like India, where we need to really monitor the weather, real, agricultural output, and a lot of that will depend on how much we rely on space and space-based applications to be able to augment our intelligence and our ability to take action on ground. To explore, we are very much working very closely with ISRO and NSIL to see that how we can be part of the exploration journey of the Indian Space Agency and part of the human space flight. There are a lot of areas that we are working in. Travel and navigate, while India is really working on the regional navigation system, we have solutions for that. Since time is low, I just want to conclude it with this slide. Our approach towards India is very much long-term, supported by an ongoing dialogue between India and France from a G2G standpoint. We are really looking forward to working with the strategic users, with enterprise users on concrete opportunities behind which then we are willing to invest, ready to collaborate with our partners, with our prime partners, supply chain partners going ahead. And like I said, building upon the 70 years of partnership that we have in India. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. And now from Azista BST Aerospace, may I invite Mr. Sunil.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Sunil Indurthi, Director of Azista Industries and Azista BST Aerospace. So we've been manufacturing smart satellite communication subsystems for about 8 years, and about 4 years ago, we diversified into development and manufacturing of complete small satellites through Azista BST Aerospace. Towards this effort, we've developed a 50 kg and 100 kg satellite platform, and today we operate India's largest small satellite manufacturing facility. To give you some information about this facility, it's about 50,000 square feet in area and about 150 employees, out of which about 35,000 square feet is in clean rooms. And this facility is capable of churning out about 100 satellites satellites a year, and about 70% of all the subsystems are manufactured in-house. That is one of our strong suits. We are vertically integrated, and we've already produced some of our subsystems in large numbers, like the reaction wheels. We produce about 50 of them, and one of our key strengths is in our ability to productionize the subsystems. That is in automation of testing as well as in streamlining the production operations. About 3 weeks ago, we launched our first satellite, which is a 4.5-meter resolution, 60-kilometer swath payload. And the satellite LEOPS are currently ongoing, and the satellite is in great health, and we're going to start taking imagery very shortly. So again, as I said, we've already built the capability to produce these satellites in numbers. So in the next 1 year, we are actually having the capacity to produce about 10 of these 4.5-meter resolution satellites. These are a couple of our upcoming missions. The first is Azista 60 degree. 60 degree because the satellite does not have to tilt 30 degrees either way. You know, it just has to look downwards nadir, and then it takes a swath of about 600 kilometers with 5-meter resolution. It's a completely indigenous payload, designed, developed, and the bus is also designed, developed in India. And the next one is the Azista Fine, which is a sub-meter imaging satellite with about 0.52 meter in super resolution, about 10 kilometer swath. Even these platforms are designed for mass production, and we'll be flying them in the last quarter of 24. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sunil. And then I'd like to now call on Safran Timing Technologies, Mr. Ashrit.
Green is for the next one. Greetings of the day, one and all. I'm Ashrit Patil from Earth, Space and Beyond, representative for Safran Timing Tech Switzerland. So I thank Team ISRO to have given me this opportunity to participate in this prestigious G20 SCLM meeting. Thank you very much. Safran Timing Tech, located in Neuchâtel, Switzerland, are the world leaders in precision timing, frequency, and navigation for space and defense applications. We were earlier known by the name Spectratime Orolia, Switzerland. So, this slide shows a broad classification of the space products that we have. In the column 1, we have the space OCXOs. In the column 2, we have the space atomic clocks, which is the rubidium-based, as well as the passive hydrogen and active hydrogen masers. And on the column 3, you have the space atomic clocks, which are almost ready. And also, I would like to add another column, which is not shown here, which is the active hydrogen masers for ground stations in the applications such as VLBI, that is very long baseline interferometry, deep space tracking and navigation, and also some applications such as SKA, which is square kilometer array, to which all of which we have supplied our active hydrogen masers. Now, in space OCXOs, the first column, we have the master oscillator and the ultra low noise master oscillator, which is the ULNMO. We have supplied over 400 flight units of these master oscillators and ULNMO versions that include are supplied to ISRO's Gagan payload, IRNSS programs, and several more. Coming to the space atomic clocks, in the second column, our space RAFs, which is the rubidium atomic frequency standards, is our ultra high performance workhorse and highly popular in the field of timing and navigation satellite systems. We have supplied these to our ISRO's IRNSS programs, ESA's Galileo, and many other space programs globally. It weighs only about 3.3 kilo and a stability class of 5 10 minus 14, being one of the best space clocks in the world today. We have passive hydrogen masers for space as well, which are already supplied to Galileo. It weighs about 18 kilos. Yes, they are quite heavy, but it is 10 times more accurate than even the rubidium atomic standards for space. And the stability class of about 8 10 minus 15 or less than 1 10 minus 14. Okay, MRO 50 in the third column is the mini rubidium oscillator, which is about the size of 5 centimeter by 2 centimeter. This is how it looks. This is the space clock. It's weighing 75 grams and has broad applications in low Earth orbit for space and airborne avionics, submarine, underwater applications, and UAV and UGS systems. Next, we have mini RAVs, which you can see in the third column bottom. It's just 390 grams, which is 10 times lower than the existing rubidium atomic frequency standards. And still, it has the stability class of 2 10 minus 13. And it has a lot of space applications in lunar missions, LEO, and navigation. All of the top space products are having deep space heritage to name a few. We have supplied to ISRO, ESA, JAXA, DLR, that's German Space Agency, Airbus, Thales Alenia Space, and several more. So, in the in this slide, we have already mentioned as in the previous, it's the mass of the space clocks and its stability class. And we have, yeah, as you can see, the programs to which we have supplied that includes the IRNSS, Galileo, Cosmos SkyMed, Connect, SpainSat, GSAT, and also ACES. The ACES is the atomic clock ensemble for space in the International Space Station. The product capacity is about 100 FM per year and 30 FM per year, and the masers are about 24 FM per year. And by this, I thank you everyone for giving me the opportunity to present to you all. Thank you very much. Have a nice evening.
Thank you very much, sir. And with that, now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going on to Pixel Space Technologies. And before I invite Ms. Neerja, may I also request Anabon Limited, Digantra Research and Technologies, Manastu Space, Map My India, MQS Technologies Private Limited, and SkyServe to please stay closer to the podium. And now we have Ms. Neerja from Pixel Space Technologies. My apologies. Before that, we have Astra Microwave Products, Mr. Chandrakant.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. So we are Astra Microwave, and
I would like to cover a few such slides on our contribution in the space segment and our capabilities. So we are more than 30-year-old company, and we are into design, development, manufacturing of products for defense, aerospace, and space segment. We have developed payload subsystems and modules to ISRO for the past 2 decades. Our heritage, almost all the SAR payloads, we have been part of it. And in addition to that, all the communication satellites, many of them, we have been supporting ISRO in all the making these payloads. So the products include from UHF to Ka-band, so all type of RF TR modules and the converters and a lot of stuff like all the programs also I have mentioned, like drivers and the LNAs and the beacon sources, transmitters, heterodyne receivers for the wideband quad super heterodyne receivers. So all type of for the SAR and be it the ELINT application or the communication applications, we have been part of it. And so we look forward to deliver similar subsystems and modules to all the payload manufacturers, and we would also like to add value in the more of the value chain. We are also in the space debris tracking. We have supplied almost 5,000 plus TR modules in the MOTR radar, which is in the Sriharikota. Mobile MOTR also we are part of it, and some of the strategic applications with DRDO, we have supplied all the TR modules, antenna element, and radomes. We have this test facilities, including the near field test range, open air test range, the far field MIMC halt has chambers, the multi-layer antenna assembly. We have the thermovac facilities, environment facilities, the laser welding machines. So all the facilities we have in-house. So I'm approaching both the Indian and the global industry to look at our facility and make use of them and choose us as your partner in realizing the products. In addition, we also build the MMIC products. We have a fabless facility. So we design all the MMICs for the radars and the EW. We have up to 50 gigahertz. We have designed the components, including the wideband. Some of them to name, I can say, like the Uttam radar MMICs we have designed. The Uttam radar hardware is being supplied by us. The roadmap was space segment because we would like to develop the complete SAR payload, the small satellite integrations. We have this facility for both ELINT and SAR and communication. We are working with Radio Physica for the long-range space debris radar. Thank you. This is my contact. So can please get in touch with me for your requirements. Thank you.
So that was Astra Microwave Products, Mr. Chandrayaan. Thank you. Now from Pixel Space Technologies, we have Ms. Neja. After that, we have Anna Bond. So right now, ladies and gentlemen, it's Pixel Space.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for having us here. My name's Neerja. I'm representing Pixel Space today. So we are a space data startup, and we're building the world's first and highest resolution hyperspectral commercial imaging satellites, as well as analytical tools to mine insight from that data. The aim is to be able to build a global health monitor for the planet by 2025, so that we can help businesses, researchers, policymakers, government entities detect, monitor, and predict what's happening around us in a lot of detail across agriculture, mining, environment, and energy use cases. But why hyperspectral? So the multispectral satellites in space today capture images at a small number of discontinuous wavelengths. They do give more information than a normal RGB image, so you can look at basic crop health, basic pipeline maps, basic water bodies. But this information is not enough to help predict and mitigate underlying unseen problems, and that's why we're building Pixel. Pixel was started by Awais Ahmed and Kshitij Khandelwal in 2019, right out of college, to be able to build a global space data startup out of India, lead India's private space exploration journey, so to speak. Pixel's small hyperspectral satellites capture images at hundreds of wavelengths across the electromagnetic spectrum. We're aiming to create a constellation of hyperspectral satellites um, to be able to image every part of the Earth at a 24-hour revisit frequency. Both a hyperspectral constellation and the advanced data analytics platform will be able to increase the spectral resolution available by 50x and give more information compared to the multispectral satellites in space today. Along with this, we've also recently launched a beta version of Aurora. That's our highly intuitive AI-powered geospatial analysis platform. And the idea is that extracting insights from Earth observation data is usually fairly complex and tedious. And that's why with this platform, we want to be able to simplify that process of extracting applicable insights and also allow even those with less technical knowledge to understand the images. This platform is going to be rich with features, have a sandbox environment, and a full public version of Aurora will be launched later this year. Here's where we are now. If we talk about a flight path, we have 3 working satellites up in space that are beaming down images, giving us feedback. We have about 50 plus customers across the planet, and our plan is that by end of 2024, we should have 6 more satellites that we're calling Fireflies up in space in the lower Earth orbit, and complete a constellation of 18 to 24 satellites by 2025. We've also just recently announced a Series B funding round, and we're now at a total venture funding of $71 million, which is the highest funded Indian space tech startup so far. And we're very, very fortunate to have great investors like Lightspeed, Google, Radical Ventures, Accenture Ventures, and advisors like Preston Dunlap, Brian Johnson, and Jordan Noon on our advisors. That's all from my end. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Neja. And now from Anabon Limited, Mr. Adi Narayanan.
Good evening. I take this opportunity to thank the Space Economy Leaders Meeting organizers for giving us an opportunity to make a small presentation about Anabond. Anabond is a company, it was founded in the year 1979 by one Mr. Mr. J. Vijay Kumar, who was actually working in atomic energy. He has resigned the job and started this company for making adhesives and sealants for everyone. See, this is the range of products has been displayed. The first slide, it gives the ranges of products. This is going, our products are being used by even a common man to the space community. That is a specialty of this. Any moving object, if you can think of in the world, it requires bonding, whatever it is, whether it is a metal to metal or metal to plastic or plastic plastic. Lot of bonding technologies are being used. So Anabond bonds everything. That is the specialty of this. And in the adhesives technology, we are there in almost all chemistries. There is one particular chemistry called cyanoacrylates. This is product, I think most of the industries probably they would have used it. This bonds almost everything, almost I would say 99% of the substrates what you see in the world can be bonded to cyanoacrylates. Unfortunately, broken heart cannot be bonded using cyanoacrylates. In Anabond, we make products for bonding substrates, and we also provide service to the customers in such a way that they get bonded to Anabond very strongly. So we have very strong relationship with our customers, and they generally they don't leave us. We have very strong bonding with almost all the customers, whether it is a common man or it is a space community. Coming to the next slide, if you just to see that we are associating with ISRO and DRDO for the last 3 decades, and this company is led by a group of eminent scientists, and we have a specialized in-house facility, R&D facility, and which is actually approved by Department of Scientific and Industrial Research, the Government of India certified R&D department, where all the products, whatever we sell in the market, they are all produced by us. We make the product in a small way, scale it up, and then we sell it to the market. Okay, and we are selling our products globally also. Okay, these are our milestones. We see that it 1982 we started selling our product to the automotive industries, then to railways, then to Indian Navy, then finally we started our products for the ISRO and DRDO in the 1990, then European market, then like that, slowly, finally we see that our products are being used by each and everybody, not only for space applications, even for the defense applications also, people use our products. Okay, and these are the products, various products going for our ISRO. In the case of ISRO, most of the products, though we have put about 35 plus products, many of the products are developed by ISRO. All the products for which we have acquired the technology because they demonstrate the technology in a small scale. We have scaled up to pilot plant and then finally to the production level, and it is being supplied to ISRO for all their missions. And some of the products, as per their request, we have developed and we are supplying to them. Okay, and various applications are listed for your this one. In case we would like to take this opportunity to invite any of the vertical industry partners to associate with Anabond. We are welcome. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. And with that, we'll now go on to Digantara Research and Technologies. May I invite Mr. Shreyas to please make his presentation.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Shreyas Mirji. I am the head of business and strategy for Digantara. We are a space situational awareness company that is building end-to-end solution for space operations and space traffic management. What we do is we are building the fundamental infrastructure necessary for all of future space operations. Next page, please. Next page. So we are in space already. So we launched 2 missions to space, and we were one of the first companies to be authorized by in space to operate space assets. So we launched the world's first space-based space weather monitor, one to low inclination orbit, and one to SSO in January of 2023. Next place, please. Next slide, please. No, it's not working. Thank you. What we do, we are an end-to-end space situational awareness company. We are trying to solve the problem on 2 ends. On the upstream side, we are solving for the problem of data inconsistency and the problem of data quantity. Our systems are capable of tracking objects up to 1 centimeter in size, and we are also able to reduce this the error in tracking measurements as well. Next page. And on the downstream side, what we do is we are developing more than 50 plus analytical products based on space situational awareness data that will enable for the complete space value chain, right from planning a satellite mission to all the way to end of life deorbiting. We are also working along different verticals, including defense, and also on the insurance, where we're looking at enabling the loads, the LEO economy by building insurance model that will enable a sustainable future. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Shreyas. And then we have, ladies and gentlemen, now Manastu Space, and Mr. Tushar Jadhav is going to be making a presentation.
Hello, we are Manastu Space, and we are on mission to save space industry with our agile, efficient, affordable propulsion system for satellite. So it's founded by alumni from IIT Bombay and ex-DRDO scientists. And we live there in space. Currently, there are around 160 million small and big debris, and looking to grow to as much as 100 billion by the end of this decade. And that becomes a big problem as the more and more number of satellites are planned every year, as much as 12,000 per year by 2029. And this is becoming a problem. Why? To save our satellites from this growing number of debris population, we need a propulsion system, and which is the challenges with the current systems are they're either very slow, or they're either toxic or inefficient, or they're very costly. And the way to solve this is using a green propulsion system that we are building. So what we are building new fuel for satellites, new engine to burn this fuel, and the new catalyst to start the combustion inside this engine. And our value proposition is a system that is faster, 20 times than the current electric propulsion, 50% more efficient,